What's up, guys? It's you, and welcome back to Week 2, Episode number 1. No, I messed that up really bad. This is Week 2, Episode 2 of our push to rank 500 in the Ubers tier. In the last episode, we actually dropped, like, 2 points or something. Yeah, 2 points. But looking at the ladder, we're still only, like, 60-some points away, so we should get there by the end of this week using this team. We're using the same Deoxys team. So we're just gonna continue with that, and hopefully find a match relatively soon, because that would be very, very helpful. But I did get a new showdown layout. It is a Chandelure one. It's a little different. I like the way, this is gonna sound really dumb, but I like the way that, like, the contrast of, like, the text now, and the battling style isn't much different, but honestly, I like the small tweaks that this one makes over the dark layout. We'll see how well it shows Zekrom up, because that was a problem that I was having last time. So, looking at this guy's team, super threatening. He's very, very dark weak. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot to exploit that other than Scissors Pursuit, because he has 1, 2, 3, 4 Mons weak to dark and a justified user. That's probably Mega Lucario. I'm assuming that's going to be a Deoxys-A lead. But I'm going to lead Zekrom because he has nothing to stop me from Volt Switching, which is great. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Because Ice Beam won't OHKO me, nor will Psycho Boost. Because Deoxys Speed, while being very powerful, is... while being very fast, only has like base 95 attacking stats on each side. It's not really that amazing. Which is one reason that I was kind of against the ban of Deoxys-S. But he just goes ahead, sets up rocks. I'm gonna go into Scissor, or should I? I'm gonna go into Scissor so I can U-turn on him, because I lose nothing by U-turning. I can get rid of hazards with Arceus, and I'm able to knock his Mega Scissor out. I don't see anything on a team that immediately threatens me unless he's like Calm Mind Arceus Electric, which would be a bit of a disappointment. I'm sorry, Squid Slayer Gaming. I don't have any Little Cup teams. So he goes into Arceus. I'm going to defog here, as he probably SDs. Yeah, so I'm going to Willow, and then go into Lando. He ends up Swords Dancing again. He is really getting greedy. I'm going to Judgment now and see how much this does. That does about 33%, which isn't great. He just sets up to max because he is very, very confident he's going to be able to just sweep my team. Sorry, no Little Cup teams and recording. I was checking for lag. So he's going to recover as well. So this is just going to turn into a recover war really quick. Hopefully I don't get absolutely annihilated by E-Speed. Although E-Speed isn't actually doing that much, which is great for me. Judgment, I get a crit. So he's forced to lose his Arceus or recover here. So I'm just going to go ahead and recover, as it looks like he does as well. I'm going to recover again, as he chooses to as well. So this is basically just a stall war between two Arceus. He's essentially at +3, and that E-Speed does a lot. Judgment, though, is going to do a little bit to him, which is going to help. And I'm actually going to Judgment again, because with Life Orb and all that, I'm going to be able to come in with Lando and hopefully take him out. Actually, what is the base speed for Arceus? Data, Arceus, and then Data, Deoxys Attack. Deoxys Attack is faster, and I'm fairly certain I can knock you out with the E-Speed. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Yeah, so everybody go check out Squid Slayer Gaming. So here comes Giratina-O. Giratina-O is kind of a pain in the butt, but I do have stuff that matches up fairly well against it. Namely Xerneas. Xerneas doesn't have that hard of a time with it, but I'm going to go into Zekrom, because I'm anticipating the Shadow Sneak, and that is what we end up seeing. Looking at his team, I can probably Outrage right here, and that's what I'm going to do, because I can just take Giratina-O out, which is a huge threat to my team. He goes into this, which is kind of a problem, although I do have Lando just sitting in the back, and I end up getting a crit Outrage, and he sets up with a Sword Stance, meaning I can take him out with another Outrage. It kind of stinks that I got a crit there, although looking at it, it doesn't, like, the crit actually didn't matter, because it would have done more than 50% in the first place, so I would have been able to knock him out with the second Outrage. He could have knocked me out with an E-Speed. So we get our rank up to 1438, which is pretty cool. This man is linking his YouTube channel to me. Are you kidding me? Yeah, but I'll leave the link up there on the screen for just a sec if you guys want to go check him out. Anyway, looking at this guy's team, probably Geozern, Mega Mom, using Weezing and Ubers, which is cool. This may be one of the teams that Pokeaim used, but I'm gonna lead. There's nothing really that gets destroyed by rocks on his team, so I'm just gonna lead Zekrom. He has no ground type, so I can Volt Switch immediately, as he ends up leading with Mega Kanga. I meant to click Volt Switch, although it's not gonna matter because he's just gonna fake out anyway. Yeah. At this point, I'm gonna Bolt Strike and see how much Bolt Strike is gonna do. He can probably just, actually, I'm going to knock him out with 2 of those, but I'm going to predict the Sucker Punch here and go into Lando. I'm going to predict the Sucker Punch and go into Lando here, which will drop his attack. He does end up going for the Sucker Punch, and I know Lando can, oh, he ends up just going for a return, and he's faster than I am. So that was a big misplay on my part, which was a little bit unfortunate. But I'm going to go into Scissor here. Scissor doesn't mind taking a +1 Sucker Punch from Mega Kanga, as he ends up just going into Weezing, Tank Weezing. Yes, this is AIM's team. But I'm going to go into Arceus Water, because Arceus Water doesn't mind a Willow. But he ends up missing the Willow, which is great. I'm going to Willow whatever he switches into. Ends up being Gracias. Wow. Okay, so I missed the Willow as well, but that's okay. I'm going to go into Zekrom here, because Zekrom resists your stabs. Get resisted. And I'm going to go for a Volt Switch here. Probably anticipating you. I'm trying to catch you switching out so I can try to pick up some offensive momentum in this match. Something that I really haven't been able to garner so far, which is a bit unfortunate. He just stays in, so that's a bit unfortunate for me. He's probably gonna Willow, so I'm gonna go back into oh, he just Grass Knots, and I get absolutely burned. So I'm gonna Willow here and see what we're gonna. I lost this match. I got a really bad team matchup, and also I forgot that Mega Mom outsped me. I kind of just assumed he was running a bulky variant, which was a problem for me. But looks like the only way I'm going to win this match is if I get off a Geomancy with Xerneas. I got to go ahead and do that now, as I end up catching him on the switch to Egg Slash. So I'm going to HP Fire here, because he doesn't outspeed me, and HP Fire is going to hurt from a +2 Xerneas. Because Xerneas says something stupid like base 140 special attack. I'm actually going to check that right now. I'm actually just going to do this so the notification stops popping up. Okay, so Xerneas is base 131 special attack, so it's going to pretty much nuke Aegislash. Actually, Aegislash tanks that really well and goes for the Gyro Ball, which ends up knocking me out, so that is unfortunate. Yeah, this whole match is just going really terribly for me. I'm going to go into a Mega Scissor, though, and I'm going to Roost, predicting the King Shield, or the Switch. Because, okay, he just ends up switching, which is unfortunate. But I'm going to go into Zekrom here, because I still have the capability to drop a Draco on something. He ends up going for Willow. He hits his Willow. I'm going to Volt Switch, although there's not much reason for me to continue playing this match, because unless I get super lucky with Mega Scissor, I'm not going to be able to sweep him. He ends up going into Gracias, though. So I guess that's okay for me. I'm going to go into Deoxys attack and Psycho Boost something. I'm going to try to lure him into T-Tar, so I can superpower. He just ends up sacking Mega Kanga, which was a good play, because Mega Kanga was going to be kind of useless at that point. So that proves that Mega Kanga is still very, very useful. I'm going to actually sack Zekrom here. Thank goodness he didn't pursue. I lose nothing by sacking Zekrom. And I'm going to go into... Scissor can't knock him out. Deoxys attack could potentially put in some work against his team. But I have to go into Scissor. I'm kind of forced to. I'm going to Superpower, predicting the switch. Ends up going into Tank Wheezing, which is a very, very good stop to this thing. And I'm going to go into a Deoxys attack. And while I don't want to take a burn, Deoxys attack would much rather take it than a Scissor would. So at this point, I'm going to Superpower, kind of predicting the T-Tar, because I believe I can 2-hit KO T-Tar on the switch. I almost can OHKO T-Tar, which is cool. I'm going to E-Speed. But at this point, I'm losing like 18 plus Life Orb, which is 27. So I'm losing 27% of my health each turn, so this is not very, very good for me. But I'm going to go into Mega Scissor here. He wins the game by HP firing. He Moonblasts, which is good for me. I'm going to Bullet Punch though, because even though I know Tank Wheezing is coming, I can still... Actually, should I U-turn and keep up offensive momentum? I think I will. So I'm trying to play around this Wheezing as much as possible. Wheezing's actually very, very good in Ubers. I have one attack left. I'm going to go ahead and go for the knockoff. Kind of predicting him to go into T-Tar. Because he's stuck in an awkward 50-50 here to where he either loses Wheezing or loses Tar. Either way, he wins the game, I think. Because even his best play right here is to sack T-Tar to my attack because he has a chance to absorb the Psycho Boost. Ends up going into Aegislash, so this knockoff's going to help me a little bit as I get rid of his lefties. But that's the downside to using Deoxys attack, is that you often find yourself in just really, really crappy situations where you're so frail you can't really take any hits. But I'm going to go for a Bullet Punch here and hope for a Mega Crit, although he just ends up burning me. So that is going to be a good game. I'm just going to forfeit right there. There's not much point in staying in that match. Yeah, he was using one of Aim's team, so frankly I'm not surprised I lost. I'm down to 419, which is bad, so I'm going to find another match. Hopefully we can actually start a winning streak here. Are you ready? Waiting for the battle. Please, please, come on, work with me, Showdown. But yeah, so far this team hasn't been doing as well as I had kind of hoped. Frankly, team I used last week was a little bit better. But looking at this guy's team, really, really well-rounded team. As probably Cosmic Power, Sigalith, some sort of Arceus, Lugia. He has Pharaoh. So he does have kind of a fighting weakness, if that is a normal Arceus. Although looking at his team, it's probably Ghost. Then he has Megamon. I'm going to lead with Lando, because Lando's going to help me break that multi-scale. He ends up leading with Pharaoh. Debating whether or not I want to try to trade rocks with him, or if I just come in with Xerneas and Geomancy. Although I'm just going to get up rocks, as he gets up a lead seed. Predicting the Protect, I'm going to go into a Xerneas, because his set is likely lead seed Protect. Oh, he ingrains. Okay. I doubt he carries Steel Stab, so, and I kind of have to hope he doesn't. I'm going to Geomancy. He ends up lead seeding. I'm going to HP Fire. HP Fire is my best play because nothing else I have knocks out Ferrothorn. Even if he's probably thinking, oh, I can live this, but that is going to easily take him out. His best play right here is to go into Mega Mom, but he ends up going into Lugia instead. I'm just going to freely T-Bolt, and I don't end up knocking him out, which is a bit unfortunate, because now I'm going to be taking a lot of residual damage. But at this point, I can Moonblast, because Moonblast will knock Lugia out, and looks like Xerneas is going to be doing some nice wall breaking to start the match. Ends up going into Arceus Steel. That's cool. I'm going to HP Fire. Unless he's max special defense, I don't... Ow. Oh, wow. He took that really well. He ends up... He's going to recover stall me out, which is a good play on his part. And I don't really have a whole lot of reason to save Xerneas. I am doing a little bit more than recover, but he is able to take me out, and he also has leech seed, so he is at 100%, which is a bit unfortunate. But I'm gonna go into scissor here, and superpower, probably. Or I could go into Lando and U-turn. I think I'm gonna go into Lando and U-turn, because I don't think he's gonna want to stay in here. Even if he has Willow. Oh no, he stays in, so he's probably gonna Willow or recover. So I'm gonna go into Arceus Water to take whatever he wants to go for. He goes for Ice Beam. Alright, so that's good to know. That just more than likely means that oh, he's Calm Mind. Okay. Well, Arceus Water walls him regardless. So I'm just gonna go for the Judgment here and try to get off some damage. That is not doing a whole lot at all. But he's gonna have to be up to like +6 if he really wants to do some damage to me. So I can continually wear him down with this, with my Arceus Water, which is pretty good because hopefully I can leave him at the range to where I can revenge kill him with Bullet Punch or Lando T's Earthquake, which would be great. Hold on. Before, dang it, I was gonna say I could switch predicting the recover on Lando T. Or I could switch predicting the recover to try to get HP back, but he's doing 55%. He's going to be able to 2 KO me, which is a bit unfortunate. I kind of have to recover to save Arceus Water here, as he ends up staying in and recovering. So I'm going to Judgment again, and see how much we are not doing anything to him at this point. It's coming down to, is he going to Judgment, or is he going to recover? Actually, still use recover. Kind of want to risk it and go into Lando T, but it's not really worth it because I will be knocked out. So I'm going to Judgment here. It looks like he ends up going for Judgment, so it was a good thing I didn't switch. Now predicting the recover, I'm going out to Lando T because I can knock him out with the combination of Judgment plus Burn. End up dropping his attack again as he ends up recovering, which is great. I'm going to Earthquake here because I can do significant damage to Arceus Steel and actually knock out damage because of Earth Plate, which is great. So I was able to get around that relatively well. Ends up going into Sigalith. I'm not too scared about this because I can continually U-turn on him and do a lot of damage. I can also go into Deoxys if I need to knock off. So he has the Toxic Orb. I'm going to Mega Evolve and U-turn again because I'm still going to be able to do a lot of damage to Sigalith. He ends up Cosmic Powering up. And my U-turns aren't doing quite as much anymore. Is U-turn's neutral? That's kind of disappointing. But I can go into Deoxys and go for the knockoff here. Stored Power can probably knock me out from this range because Deoxys attack is frail. But I am able to knock him out with the knockoff from Deoxys attack. So his best switch right here is going to be Darkrai, but he ends up forfeiting, which is great for me. I'm up to 1435. I'm going to jump into probably one more battle, maybe one or two. Hopefully we can push our rank up a little bit more. Because generally pushing our rank up to try to finish the series is good, guys, right? But after this tier, I think we're going to do RU or NU. I may do NU first because Electivire is in NU right now, and Electivire is really good. Or, I don't know if it's really good at NU, but I think it has the potential to be really good in NU. Just because it can be mixed. You can run it with like a Pokemon very weak to Electric and bait the Electric attack, Motor Drive, and sweep from there. Because with Electivire, he has the ability Motor Drive, which basically if he gets hit by an Electric attack, then you get to your immune and your speed raises by 1 stage. So he ends up leading with Genesect. Predicting the Ice Beam and just kind of generally wanting to scout what he wants to go for, I'm going to go into Scissor, as he ends up going for the Ice Beam, which is good for me. I kind of anticipated that. And I'm hoping he's Scarf Genesect, because I'm going to U-turn here. Looks like he is Scarf Genesect, and he also is Arceus Water, so we are both running Arceus Water. I'm going to go into Zekrom, though, and then double out predicting Lando into into my own Arceus, because he won't want to stay in and take an electric type. Oh wow, he just ends up willowing. Okay. Well, he doesn't know I'm Scarfed, so that's a thing, I guess. Looking at this team, one of its big weaknesses is it doesn't really have anything to phase, which can really be a problem. I want to see what Latias wants to do, because I can for sure come in and outspeed with Scarf Zekrom, so I'm going to recover here as he ends up Calm Minding. This is kind of what I was fearing, although I can just come in and take him out with an Outrage. So I'll just save that. I'm going to Judgment here. He ends up Dragon Pulsing, which gets a crit, which is a bit unfortunate. And looking at his team, I'm kind of looking at what Arceus Water needs to do for the rest of the match. Or if I can just go into Xerneas. Geomancy. I think I can just go into Xerneas. Nah, I don't really want a Geomancy yet, because he still has Steel priority left, but I'm going to go in anyway. And, because I don't necessarily have to Geomancy yet, and he makes a good play and goes for Psyshock, because it was kind of predictable for me to switch. Now, anticipating the Dragon move, I'm just going to go ahead and sack Arceus Water to the Psyshock. So I guess is okay. I guess. Either way, now I'm going to go into a Zekrom and Outrage. Actually, no, I can't Outrage yet because I need Zekrom to take out Arceus Water later in the match. So I'm going to go to Mega Scissor here, I think. Or I actually need to check if Deoxys attacks knockoff knocks out from here, then I'm definitely going into Deoxys attack because it's just a more versatile Pokemon. And for some reason the calc isn't loading, which is kind of annoying. So I guess we're just gonna have to risk it and go into Deoxys and go for the knockoff. I'm not sure if he anticipates the knockoff, but it for sure knocks out Latias, which is really, really good for me. And I apologize if you guys hear a little bit of echo. I don't think you can, but had to get up for something real quick. So anyway, he has T-Tar in. I know Superpower knocks it out, so I'm just going to go ahead and knock out T-Tar right there. And that is why Deoxys attack is so good, is because it has just an insane move pool, and easily knocks out Tyranitar. So right here, I think I'm going to go into Zekrom to sponge whatever hit you want to go for. Kind of anticipating a U-turn here. Yeah, you end up U-turning, which does okay damage. And you end up going into Lando. Alright, I know I can't lose Zekrom right here. So I kind of want to go into my own Lando. Because I don't think he carries HP Ice. He ends up Swords Dancing. So he's a physical Lando. So it's a good thing I got the Intimidate off. I'm going to U-turn here as he ends up Stone Edging, which does a lot of damage. But one thing that's good for me... Oh, he has Sand Force, so he's physical Sand Force. Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. I'm going to go into Deoxys attack here and nuke something with a Psycho Boost. Because even Genesect is not going to appreciate a Psycho Boost. He ends up going out into Arceus Water, which just gets straight up knocked out by Psycho Boost. So this is why Deoxys attack is so good, because it just comes in and nukes things. Especially when you're running a relatively slow U-turn in Lando. Like, by no means is base 91 speed bad, but let's be real, it's not exactly the best thing in the tier. Kind of don't know what he's going to go for right here. I'm kind of tempted to go for a Superpower, but I know he's Scarf Genesect. Just from the way he's been playing it so far. So, Xerneas doesn't do a whole lot for me now, so I'm going to go ahead and go into Xerneas. If he U-turns, fine. Ends up going for Flamethrower. That's kind of what I was fearing, because I didn't want to go into Scissor yet. So I'm going to go into Zekrom here, and I think the obvious play is going into Lando, so I'm going to Outrage. He ends up going into Lucario, though. So I know for a fact 2 Scarfed Outrages knock out Lucario. So I'm just going to go ahead and click Outrage, because that's the only move I can go for. End up taking out what looks to be his Mega, because I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to run regular. But at this point, I think I have the game, because he has to go for Ice Beam. So I'm just gonna sack Lando here. And he goes for Flamethrower, meaning that Zekrom is basically gonna come in for free. And what's stronger, Bolt Strike or Outrage? I'm gonna go for the Bolt Strike here. He does about 22%, and a Bolt Strike just straight up KOs Genesect. So that is going to be a good game. I only get about 8 points there, so that was a bit unfortunate. But, you know, stuff like that happens. And that is going to be today's episode of Push to Rank 500 in the Ubers tier. If you guys did enjoy it, please make sure to slap that like button. This really does help show support for these series and the stuff that I'm doing here on the channel. Also, make sure to answer today's comment question of the day. Do you guys like the new Showdown background? Or do you guys use Showdown background in general? Which one do you guys use? Because, like, while this one is good, I kind of want a little bit of a change, so I may change it up again. Also, yeah, basically, that's all I have to say. Make sure to subscribe if you guys are enjoying the constant content. With that, I'll catch you on the flip-flop.